There's also going to be leadership conferences that Dr. Gideon and Dr. Crawford are going to be leading. So there will actually be two different kinds of conferences. There's going to be leadership conferences for pastors, but then Dr. Crawford's wife, Pastor Julie, is going to be heading a separate leadership conference for pastors' wives. So the reason for these conferences, a lot of them are to train leaders and maybe retrain leaders a little bit, because there is a very unfortunate pattern in Nigerian ministry leadership where, unfortunately, there is a lot of abuse that is happening from leadership positions, and specifically towards women. I won't go into the details of that in this video, but it is very heartbreaking, and honestly, a little Google research, you'll find it yourself. So a lot of what Dr. Gideon and Dr. Crawford are going to be doing is to kind of bring proper doctrine, proper teaching, to show these pastors how they are to conduct themselves and how to properly care for these souls that are in their care as pastors, and to treat them well. And so there is a great need for teaching to keep leadership from causing harm to the members of their congregation. And so that's a big part of what they're going to do while I may be speaking in the schools. But when I'm not speaking in the schools, I will be there to, I'll be part of the conferences and attending, and I'll be creating sketchnotes. So the sketchnotes are something I get to do to use my artistic skills, which I've found has been really just a really neat thing that I am able to do, where I will basically illustrate a sermon or a teaching, and illustrating it is a great way to give to those attending a conference, especially in another nation, because it helps kind of overcome a lot of the language barriers, and it helps people to remember what was taught in a very visual and pleasing way. So it really it helps visual learners to really retain that teaching and that information as well. So when I'm not speaking in the schools, I'll be using my artistic gifts on the mission to help kind of support the training of these leaders.